for today's stamp, I've got a sentiment which is miss you in large letters and then already in small text underneath it. And I've decided to go for a curing time of 45 seconds each side, and I'll see what happens. It won't really matter too much if my already is missing because I can do it separately later if I need to. I just thought I'd see if it would do it in just the one go. Now I have taped down my cellophane here. In fact, I'm going to do that again because I think I need to make it slightly smaller, because there is a slight wrinkle, I think, in my cellophane, so I want to make sure that that doesn't affect my stamp. So put one side down, pull it nice and tight and flat, and then put the other one down, and that should be fine. Just to make sure, I'm going to put some tape on that side and another piece of tape here. Now I'm using what's known as invisible tape, which actually means that on this glass I can actually see it, which is quite useful. Now I have my frame, which is the closest one to the size of my particular stamp. So the next thing is to get my gel. Now my polymer gel is decanted into one of these squeezy bottles, and I keep it in a drawer so it's fine. And literally I squeeze it with an even pressure. I keep it on top of the last line of gel, and I just keep up the pressure and go up and down and up and down. If you find you're getting bubbles in your gel, it's probably because it is cold, and if you warm it up very slightly, if you stick the bottle in some warm water, that will probably eliminate most of the bubbles that you're going to get. Sometimes I use a heat tool just over the top of it if there's a few bubbles on the surface. Now I think that that has got enough gel in it, so I'm going to put on my top piece of cellophane by putting it on the middle and letting it fall to the outsides. Then my top piece of glass goes on and I press it down firmly, and you should be able to tell that there's no big bubbles underneath your plate there. If you can't tell that there's no bubbles, you're in big trouble. Okay, so that's going to go into my lamp, and I have a timer for 45 seconds. Now my lamps are LED. They are a replacement for the original bulbs in here, and they are put in so that they all face the outside casing and not the inside. But having them facing the inside is going to cure far too fast, and it's just not going to work properly. So my image is printed on a laser printer onto tracing paper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, note. Okay. Take this out, flip it over, and pop it back in. And another 45 seconds. My glass is 1/2 centimetre thick, and if you're buying glass, make sure that it's not UV filtering glass, because if it is, it's not going to work. Okay. Lift the whole lot off. and then peel it apart like that. I've just come back from washing this out and it actually looks as though I have got the already there. I can read it from this side. It'll be interesting to see whether it prints really well or not. So this is how it looks when it's just been rinsed off. I keep the frame on because it helps with the process of just holding on to it. And all I'm going to do now is remove that from the frame. I can dry the frame with a piece of paper towel or whatever. And I'm going to put this back under the lamp for another 4 minutes. If you ever end up with a load of gunk stuck on your frame, just pop it underneath the lamp because that will solidify it and then you can just pull it off. But it's quite good to just wipe it down because if this stays slightly sticky, when you next use it, it'll be sticky enough to stay in place and it stops things from moving, which is quite handy. Right, so this is the amount of gel that is left on top as the negative. So you can still see the imprint of the design there, but there's not a vast amount of gel, and that's what you should have left when you're finished. I simply fold that over on itself because it's very sticky and put it in the bin. And this I can keep in a folder or envelope or whatever and use it again if I want to. So that's that. And I've got nothing on my plates apart from fingerprints. So glass cleaner will clean these up pretty well. I don't clean them in between every stamp I make. I just, when they get a bit messy, I clean them up and then I just put them away as normal. So here's the stamp, and what you now do is take it off of the backing, which is easy enough to do, and then just wash it in soapy water again. Then it can be dried and then it's ready to trim down and then you can stamp with it. In fact, I think this has come out perfectly. I can actually read the already quite easily, so I think that will probably stamp really well. I've trimmed the stamp down, just taken a bit off the edges, and so I'm now just going to put it onto a stamping block and show you how that stamps. I haven't even taken the time to really dry it, so it might be a little bit watery this, but it should show you how it will stamp. And so I'll put that there. Make sure it's well pressed down. There we go, perfect. And yes, I can read that text just fine. There we are. So that's it, that was 45 seconds aside. Now, bearing in mind I don't have the same gel that you are going to be using, I did do a video which gave you a pretty good idea of how long the VX55 will take to cure for different types of stamps. And I think that was like number 19 or 20, I think, in the series. But that's pretty good. I'm very happy with that. And I will link the file below so that if you want to make this particular stamp, you can. Thanks for watching. Take care now. Bye bye.